52,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. Why is nobody talking about this? See, it's intentional for them to plaster this thing about Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. No one's saying that what's going on in Gaza is right. You got some people who went into the Middle East claiming to be God's people only to cause more harm and still continue to cause harm, even more harm than what we thought that they escaped from through World War I and World War II. We bought the propaganda, and now we're seeing the hand of Satan operate to destroy and kill many in the Middle East using the synagogue of Satan. But that's on the news. But this is what they're ignoring. This is what you don't see.
It is June 13th, 2025. Yellowwater, Benue State, Nigeria. A mission compound sits in the darkness. Inside, over 400 people are sleeping. Most of them are internally displaced, refugees in their own country. They fled here because their villages were destroyed, because their farms were burned, because men with guns came in the night. They came to this place, St. Joseph Catholic Church Mission, because they believed it was safe here. At approximately 10 p.m., the attackers arrived. Witnesses will later say there were dozens of them, armed with AK-47s. Some carrying machetes. They surrounded the compound on all sides. They chanted Allahu Akbar as they opened fire. The people inside ran. Some hid in the church. Others tried to escape into the bush. Children screamed for their parents in the darkness.
There they slaughtered more than 100 persons. The incidents lasted for more than 5 hours.
Father Nkuma Jonathan, the parish priest, he was there. He survived. Later, he would describe what he saw. They set buildings on fire, he said. The mutilated bodies. Some victims were trapped in their homes and burned alive. When the sun rose on June 14th, the mission compound was in ruins. Bodies lay scattered across the grounds. The church, where people had sought sanctuary, was damaged by bullets and fire. The official death toll was uncertain. Initial reports said 100, then 150. Church sources eventually confirmed over 250 people were killed that night. 250 human beings. Mothers, fathers, children, entire families erased in a single night of violence.
Yeah, my family members affected, they are 5 in numbers. My wife, brother, and 4 children.
Because you know why? We're not that important to them. We're not that important to them. So they have the news out there all over the place while they're really destroying their what? Their main target in the earth, which are blacks who believe in Christ. Because we were the original Christians from the beginning. No one is talking about this. And this is what they want to execute in America. But guess what? In order to do so, they must do it a different way. The new way they'll do it is to starve our people out. Right? Folks, it's the Democrats that filibustered so that the SNAP and all that would be cut off. They're lying out there telling people that it's the Republicans. It's the Democrats. It's these witches and warlocks on the Democrat side. They filibustered, which means they feel this is the only tool they have to get their way. What is their way? If you don't allow us to do this for all of the illegals that's going to be under our power, if you don't allow SNAP, medical, and all that to go to the illegals under our power, we'll starve out all the poor in America. That's their play, folks. And all this is coming to a head. Don't think it's a coincidence, folks, that at the same time, November 1st, that they're talking about, well, November 1st, there'll be no SNAP benefits. All of this comes into what? One big political satanic plan at the time of their high dark satanic holy day of the year when they got all the dark reinforcements to help them. Don't think it's a coincidence. Do not believe it's a coincidence. See, but this is what these nuts don't understand. Yeah, they're going to destroy a lot of people because a lot of people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and will continue to allow their children be sacrificed to these particular demons and spirits. Many of our people aren't going to make it through this. But what these demo nuts and what these Satanists don't understand, that you cannot release all these spirits in this earth in an effort to direct them against one people and not suffer the consequences. What's the consequences? Well, when these spirits are released, they don't care what you believe. When they're released to destroy all. And that's what these nuts don't understand. That these spirits are going to turn around and not just going to destroy the people that these witches are aiming against. That these spirits are being released and to take all those who agree with the darkness that's being released in this earth. Which leads us to this scripture. Which leads us to the Bible. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. Now, why so? It's fallen from its initial glory. Well, the initial glory, America was held up because of the core belief in Christ, especially when it came to the strong belief in God's people who were enslaved here. We were holding Babylon up. But the more evil that's promoted in America, the more you allow Satanists in to bring in their evil religions and all that, to spite our people, God's people, the more America declines.
It's called world domination, and they have a very simple plan, and it's actually brilliant. It's infiltrate, populate, dominate, never assimilate, and then create a caliphate, and then bring upon Sharia law. It's the greatest threat to Western civilization. And if you notice, 85% of Muslim refugees, they don't go to other countries, their countries. They have 54 Muslim nations. You know why they come to Christian nations?
To change them.
And they do it by using our laws. And Charlie Kirk said it best. Immigration without assimilation is an invasion. When I say that the world has a huge problem, and you've seen what happened in Europe, Europe has fallen, and we're too nice in America. We're letting people who come here who really don't love this country. I want to live in a country where everybody can practice the religion of their choice, but not have anybody threaten their right to exist or want to change this Christian nation that I'm living in.
Absolutely spot on.
This video will cover Grand Wizard Albert Pike's 3 World War predictions, which are quite frankly stunning. But first, I want to give a background on the person who exposed the Illuminati's preparations for World War III and how they plan to use Islam to destroy the West. A secret diary was released by a man with information about elitist organizations and the New World Order. This diary documents that the Illuminati already knows what is going to happen for World War III. It's already mapped out. The agenda's already set. The diary that exposes this agenda belonged to a man named William Carr, who was born in 1895. Carr entered into Canada's Royal Navy at a very young age and ascended to the position of commander. He knew many at the top of their fields in politics and law and in academia. His side hobby was writing books, specifically books on the New World Order. His books documented the breadth in which the Illuminati had taken over all aspects of society. including churches and seminaries. In fact, Carr claimed to have received an SOS letter from a high-ranking official in the Roman Catholic Church in November 1958. The letter outlined a hostile takeover that was underway in the Vatican, the Illuminati having infiltrated the Vatican's quarters. Carr would die less than a year after receiving the SOS message. Carr also documented history behind the most elusive organization in world history, the Illuminati, and their religion, which is Luciferianism. He believed that modern organizations, including the Bilderberg Group and the Council on Foreign Relations, are Luciferian political organizations. He also believed that the chief governing body for Lucifer, for the ascension of the capstone, was the United Nations, and he documented this in his books. Carr wrote several books. His most controversial book was published after his death. It is called Satan, Prince of this World, and is really nothing more than Carr's personal diary and notes he saved for many years. In this book, Carr documents receiving the SOS letter from the high-ranking Vatican official, but he also documents other interesting things. For example, Carr believed that secret societies weren't working independently of one another, but that they were controlled by a top-level organization called the World Revolutionary Movement. And that's literally in his book, Satan, Prince of the World. This organization at the top tier is interested in inciting war, terrorism, and distress to serve its fundamental interests. And that is to establish the New World Order, a Luciferian system of governance and religion. Carr speaks at length about World War III in his book, Satan, Prince of the World. He documents that World War III was planned by a 33rd degree Grand Wizard named Albert Pike. Albert Pike was a notorious Luciferian who openly praised Lucifer in his book Moral and Dogma of the Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Pike was also a general for the Confederacy during the Civil War, and a wizard of occult magic, channeling and summoning of spirits. William Carr documented that Albert Pike wrote a letter to a friend in 1871 outlining the final and largest of the wars. According to Carr, what Albert Pike actually wrote was a lot more than a letter. It was a blueprint that spelled out exactly what would happen in the last war. Carr said, quote, "In the 1860s, Albert Pike is recorded as saying his military program might take 100 years or a little longer to reach the day when those who direct the conspiracy at the top will crown their leader king despot of the entire world and impose a Luciferian totalitarian dictatorship upon what is left of the human race." That's what they're saying. Pike seems to indicate a conspiracy to start a war. Pike's letter ironically also detailed the specifics of the first two wars with stunning accuracy, suggesting that he knew before time the details surrounding each of the wars. World War I, according to Pike, would be fought to overthrow the czars in Russia and change Russia into a communist state. The Second World War would be fought for two reasons: to establish the State of Israel and to expand communist control over Europe. The Third World War will be what allows the Novus Ordo Seclorum to rise out of the dust. According to Pike, Islam will be the central factor in the downfall of the West. Islam will be decimated in the process, allowing for the new religion of pure Luciferianism to spread on the earth. All Muslims will fall for this system. There isn't a single Muslim on earth who will not partake in the religion of the New World Order, according to Pike. Islam is merely a tool to destroy the Christian West. That's it. That's all it is. It's a tool. That's what they said hundreds of years ago. The master plan to use Islam was kicked off in 2001 when the fear of Americans was taken advantage of by an esoteric cabal lurking in the shadows.
Do you not think an angel rides in the whirlwind?
In his inaugural address, George W. Bush proclaimed that an angel would ride the whirlwind and direct the storm. The master plan was unveiled in 2001 for World War III. They started Albert Pike's blueprint when they flew 2 planes into the World Trade Centers and blamed it on Islam. The storm that would come and the angel that would bring it were long-awaited prophetic fulfillments. And as Albert Pike, Grand Wizard of the craft, had predicted, Islam would be the choice religion to use to foment a crisis between it and the West that would only get worse. What is the common factor every time we see a crisis? Who's behind it? Islam. And they want you to believe it's organically an issue of Islam. This was planned hundreds of years ago, and they have quite a plan for Islam. The esoteric cabal is using Islam to achieve the great work. It's all been mapped out. We've seen what they're doing with the migrant crisis. We've seen what they've done in England with the Sharia courts, and on and on and on. They're using Islam to stir the pot. The system has to come down. It has to topple. Islam will be used for the ultimate goal, and that is to fully usher in the Luciferian capstone. They're going to keep using it to destroy Western Christianity, Western culture. It's going to happen, and there's really nothing you can do about it except to pray. That's it.
That's why it says it's fallen. It's fallen. We were the people through our moral compass and our morality. We were the people holding it up. But the more you see our people turn to the darkness, there's no protection for anyone, including the people who have converted our people into evil and wicked practices that goes back to ancient Asia, Babylon. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Why? Because they must bring in the satanic reinforcements to stop the awakening of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and the 12 tribes here in the Western Hemisphere.
I noticed your tattoo. Could you say what it says?
It says Hamas.
Yeah. This is Little Yemen. Does this look like the Bronx to you? I'm filming a YouTube video about Little Yemen. Can I ask you a question?
I am speaking English.
Arabic?
Yeah, I am not strong in English.
This is Ibrahim al-Amdi Way. So this was the former president of Yemen, and this street, the main street, has been renamed after him. If you didn't know that there was a Little Yemen, neither did I, until Mamdani made this map of neighborhoods around New York City, including Little Egypt, Little Bangladesh, and Little Palestine, but he left out Little Italy. The governing body of the capital of Yemen is the Houthis, and their slogan is Death to America. My first stop in Little Yemen was the Bronx Muslim American Society Mosque, which just got $1 million of taxpayer funds to build another location 10 times the size, all while being an arm of the Muslim Brotherhood. More on that later in this video.
Leaders at the center say the Muslim community is growing, and an expansion is long overdue.
That sermon was filmed inside this very mosque. Now you see why there was an Islamic attack at a pride parade in Germany, because while Islam uses the left to take over, deep down you can see that they're truly against LGBT. By the way, do you recognize the imam who delivered that sermon? Here's another video of him.
Girls, do we hate this flag?
Yes!
That's the same guy who said this at the Muslim prayer in Times Square.
You've seen those videos where they're like, oh my god, the Muslims are taking over New York City. You seen those? You seen those? Let them know that we are taking over New York City.
That's SQ Way of Life, and SQ has become a leader of Islam in New York City, and he's got a history of talking like that.
This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be a part of, Islam, and we will not stop until it enters every home.
Now, if you can believe it, it still gets worse. In April 2019, a video went viral of children at a Muslim American Society event in Philadelphia singing about beheading infidels.
الهدى ونقدم الأرواح دون تواني وسنضرب الأعناق عن أجسادهم ونحرر الأقصى الحزين العاري ونقود جيش الله منجز وعده ونسومهم سوء العذاب القاني.
Members of Congress, after seeing that, called for a federal investigation into MAS after that. Congressman Richie Torres handed the Bronx branch $1 million anyway and later defended it, saying, "I emphatically reject any attempt to equate the congregates of the Bronx Muslim Center with Hamas." When I was leaving Little Yemen, I was sitting in the back seat just seeing how close all of this was from Manhattan. It read a 15-minute drive. Now, do the people here really know what's happening? It looks like a completely different country here, and yet it's the same city. A man with a Hamas tattoo goes to a mosque just 40 minutes away from where the towers fell, and he says that everyone in the mosque are friends, including him with a Hamas tattoo. Some people pray for Sharia law here, others refuse to ban it, but one thing is for sure. If this continues in the way that it is, we will lose our country. This is the greatest country in the world, and we're blessed to live here.
These are spiritual reinforcements through immigration. It has nothing to do with helping poor people or giving people an opportunity. It's to allow them to come over and to make Babylon naked, to strip the treasury of America, because they know all the money that was made through America came through the chattel slavery with our people, God's people. The world would not have become rich if it wasn't for us. So if they didn't bring in all these immigrants, by default, all the taxes that are collected, a lot would need to get distributed to the people who built the country. So what they're doing is, they can't hide the fact that they're collecting the money, because it's clear that taxes are being paid here. So they would have to distribute according to what's on the books. If the immigrants weren't here, all that money for immigration would help our people through this storm, and they know it. So not only are they robbing the treasury, which causes inflation, through that inflation, prices must go up because they have to print more money as the people spend the money on immigrants, bankrupting the country on purpose to bring it down to third world. And if you inflate everything, you can't afford it. You can't afford the food. You can't afford to live. You can't afford the rent. And then at the end of it, they'll say, okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do now. Let's cut off the food, housing, for people who can't afford anything already. And let's bring these people to their knees. That's the plan with the decline of Babylon, folks, which leaves us little room. It leaves us without any choice but to choose our God. Before I go, what will we be talking about on the other side? What will we be talking about on the other side? Listen to this. Years ago, former Democrat Governor Lamb made, this was October 18th, 2003, where the former Democrat Governor Dick Lamb spelled out on how to destroy America. If he was to destroy America, how would they do this from the inside out? Speaking of government, if this was 2003, when the Democrat Governor Dick Lamb rolled this out. Listen to this.
I would like to share with you my plan to destroy America. Number one, I'd make it a bilingual, bicultural country.
He said the first thing he would do, he would make it a bilingual, bicultural country. See that? Remember in our black neighborhoods we started seeing multiculturalism?
And anyone in need was welcome to share the meal.
White people don't have nothing in their neighborhoods called multiculturalism.
New York who provided another permit.
Okay.
They haven't shut me down yet.
So this was a ploy to destroy from the inside. Throughout history, folks,
and NYPD, they're just over here.
People who are raised under different cultures cannot coexist without warring against one another.
It's possible that this is not just a single individual. However, what remains clear is that our current system is failing to protect our citizens.
شوربة حلوة حلوة
المدرسة كويسة؟
كله تمام ماشي ماما ما نفقش كل حاجة؟
لا
شور
مفيش حد جاي النهارده.
مين اللي هيجي دلوقتي؟
غريب.
Hello, Ibrahim. Blessings to you and your family. I was wondering if we could have a quick chat about your son.
Are you a journalist?
No, I'm just a citizen, here to help.
If you want something, you can go to our lawyer. We don't have nothing to say. Sorry.
Maybe we have just a little chat. Back. Oh, good. Yusuf's here. Relax. Go. Hello, Yusuf.
Yusuf.
So I guess you're wondering why I'm here.
Are here because of my son, because of the court. The court free him, and this is the court from your country.
Of course. Because your son and his friends had to rape that 14-year-old girl. So traumatized from their childhood that they couldn't keep their dicks in their pants.
He's young. He don't know nothing.
Is that why you did it, Yusuf?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry we did that. We thought she wanted it.
You thought that she wanted you to grab her and pull her into a bush in the quiet part of the park. But she wanted you to put your hand over her mouth while your 7 friends took turns raping her. She had to crawl out of those bushes on her hands and knees, and now she lives every single day afraid of what you and your friends might do since you were acquitted. It was very good work by your attorney, by the way, painting them as the victim. What was it? Traumatic integration?
We're all getting mental help now and support. We will be better in the future. I promise that.
It's the right answer. The only problem is that on your social media, since the event, I have not seen any regret or empathy. In fact, I think you said that she deserved to be raped.
What I mean is that they dress wrong and just make boys horny with their mini skirts. They show their legs and breasts.
You wrote that she deserved it.
I will delete it.
Are these the values you're teaching your children?
I teach him the values from Quran and these values from our family.
Well, if these are your values, that women in America and Europe deserve to be raped because of a dress code. Why did you come here?
You know that we have several war in our country and we have a dangerous life. That's why we are here. And I think you know that.
Do you know what I think?
Why?
I don't think it was the good ones that got out of your country. I think it was the bad ones. And I think you brought with you your archaic value system and your commitment to religion over democracy and over anything else, including the rule of law. Yusuf, you're going to pick up your phone. You're going to start calling your friends one by one and telling them to come over here right now that you have new information for them.
No.
Yes, you will.
And what do you want to do with them?
Oh, we're just going to have a little chat. Same as we're having right now.
I will not call them.
No? Interesting. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yusuf, call right now. Call!
Thank you.
Hey, Abdul. It's me. You need to come over here. Right now. We could get charged again. We have a problem. I'm here with my attorney. And bring your brother and call Idris. No, right now.
Good job, Yusuf. I'll call the next one. Nope. Sit. Sit. You. Go get the doors. No funny business, or I shoot them all. Go.
Okay.
What's wrong? What the fuck happened? What's wrong?
That's common sense. What do I have in common with an Arab that's been raised in the Middle East? Or an East Indian that have been raised in India? What is our commonalities cultural-wise? It's natural that our children will fight one another just based on the differences before we learn to coexist. That's common sense. Just based on the differences, you put somebody out of their natural environment and put them into another culture, there's a conflict period that leads to war until they figure this difference of culture out together. White people don't have this. So listen to this. I'm gonna play it out. I'll do my monologue on the other side, really. Number one, he says, I would make a bilingual, bicultural country. Let me let it play all the way out.
And to destroy America. Number one, I'd make it a bilingual, bicultural country. History shows us. But no bilingual, bicultural country lives at peace with itself. There's not one, I believe, that doesn't exist with an incredible amount of tension and conflict, if not civil war. My second part of my plan would be to invent something called multiculturalism. This would be two parts. Number one, I would say that all cultures are created equal. It would make no difference and make it impossible to talk about such things as culture. And the second one is that I would really try very hard to make people continue their cultural identity. My third part of my plan would be to make the fastest growing demographic group in that country the least educated. I would add a second underclass.
Hold up, I don't want to lose that. Because there's something important. It says to make people keep their cultural identity. So when they had the Irish marching on St. Paddy's Day, Irish American Day, they knew that that's a cultural clash because you're still giving an allegiance to the country you came from. If you're going to march under Ireland pride, you should be marching or go back to Ireland. See that? They had the Puerto Rican Day Parade. All these different cultural things, right, to show division amongst a nation that's supposed to be united. See that? If you're so proud and would march according to what your country you came from, and you got pride in that country, why are you not staying there to fight for your country? If your allegiance is with Ireland. See that? It was about division. That's what it was about. A nation divided against itself cannot stand.
My third part of my plan would...
Because you can always march and have pride for where you come from. Listen to this, folks. When you didn't have no sacrifice when you're doing it on the backs of people who afforded you the opportunity through slave labor. It's easy to have pride from where you come from. When you didn't have to get it out of the mud like us.
Representatives from almost every
See?
state in the union and naturally a large number of people from the state of Alabama.
Continue their cultural identity. My third part of my plan would be to make the fastest growing demographic group in that country the least educated. I would add
You would make the least educated.
Men, women, and
listen to this.
Walking through pouring rain and sweltering heat. They come from
the least educated.
The fastest growing group in the country would be the least educated. The least educated,
because of the homophobia.
easier to control, easier to leverage them off against the other people who are already here, especially the tribe of Judah. He said this in 2003, how he could destroy America.
The group's journey began Monday.
I would add a second underclass to the first underclass, unassimilated, undereducated, antagonistic.
So I will make another class under the lower class. We were the top minority who built the country right up under white people, growing exponentially in number. And according to that, we would have outnumbered the white people. So what they did was brought in reinforcements to multiply, to make a buffer between the blacks who was growing in America and the white people.
That's the name I knew it as growing up. We used to come here.
And then I'd have 50% of them drop out of school, not graduate from high school. The fourth part of my plan would be to get the big foundations to fund, and big business to fund these efforts with lots of money. I would invest in ethnic identity and victimology. I would get them to think about their lack of success was only the fault of the majority. The fifth part of my...
He said that he would do what? In a nutshell.
We need soy milk.
Promote, and this is done in the colleges.
We also need almond milk, the expensive brand.
Promote someone. What will lead that person is their victimhood and not their achievements. So now they'll always be seen as a victim opposed to a problem solver or someone who can stand instead of someone standing on their own, a person that's always dependent on other people. Victimhood. See? Victimhood can be utilized as a weapon. Because who can say anything about the Jewish people if they do something bad when they can feign victim by claiming that they have an attachment to the Holocaust? See? They can always now use victims. Now let me give you an example of how they would use a victim. Just say if they put up a Marxist from another country who was raised Marxist, let's just say he was a black man who became president, whose policy is being used by white satanic liberals to undermine the black progress here or anywhere in the world? Well, anytime somebody would come from another race to question the Marxist ideology that's destroying everything, then this person will now have political protection by black people by calling anyone who point out this evil man's intent as racism. He's a racist. Oh, you're just saying it's because he's black. No, I'm saying it because if you allow these policies to continue, all blacks are going to be erased. But if he can come off as a victim, anytime he's doing something wrong, he'll be protected. The weaponization of victimhood, a Marxist tactic. Let's go.
My plan is I would develop dual citizenship. I would promise people actually divided loyalties.
He said in 2003, another thing he would do is give everyone who wanted dual citizenship. See, with dual citizenship, you have dual loyalties now. See?
The sixth part, and this is important, I would place all of these subjects off limits. I would make it taboo to talk about, actually.
So you can't talk about it. So the two things that they would promote amongst our families through the pulpits and through the schools, and they'll say it out over and over again. They'll program it in our minds that there's two things that we never talk about, that becomes taboo: religion or politics. They'll make it taboo to discuss the destruction that they've actually concocted against us. Well, if you don't talk about religion, then I can identify the religions as coming over here undermining black Christians.
Was a lady in a hijab. She repented of her sin, left Islam, took her hijab off. Later we found out that her husband was a leader of a Muslim terrorist group. He was a top dog leader there. He kills Christians for a living, pastors for a living. And when the husband found out that my dad converted his wife, he was furious and wanted to take revenge on my dad. He was going to kidnap my brothers. He was going to put them in a van, behead them, put their bodies and heads in a bag to send them back to my dad's house to teach him a lesson. Don't preach Jesus again. And now the Muslim men are out of the van. They're standing right behind my brothers, and as they go to kidnap them, all Muslim men literally feel a supernatural hand, an angel, grab their hands and tie it behind their head.
These communities now in the US are pushing for Sharia law.
Yeah, Islam is not here in America to coexist. They are not here to live and let you live. They're here to take over America. This is the great mission of Islam. Go into all the world and establish Sharia law. Phase one, they immigrate as peaceful people. You start to see immigration, you start to see more hijabs, women wearing hijabs, you see halal food. Then you move to phase two. Phase two, they begin to get more public. They begin to do what New York City is doing. In New York City, they're gathering thousands of people gathering in the streets, praying to Allah, kneeling in the streets.
If we look at the teachings of Jesus, it's nothing like the teachings of Muhammad.
Yep.
Jesus teaches, if you lust, to cut out your eyes.
Yeah.
Right here was taken in the UK. This individual is a Pakistani Muslim named Muhammad, and he tried to take an 11-year-old girl into the woods. Have a look.
Talking away to a child?
I'm sorry.
And your wife's down there and now you're sorry, but you wasn't sorry when you're here to meet an 11-year-old, are you? That's the reason you're here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Because you told this child this morning about sex, and you would force her if she didn't want to. Yet you got a wife down there and now you're standing here crying, but it was all right sending those messages earlier on.
No, I'm sorry. Just please, I'm sorry.
There's no sorries now. He's on the phone to the police now. The police will be here to arrest you.
I'm sorry.
How many other children are you talking to online?
No one. I was not talking to no one.
So is it just the one child you're talking to, is it?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We will find out.
No, I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm sorry. Please, I just...
Keep your arms down.
No, I'm sorry.
The only reason he's sorry is because he was caught, and because he's married, and because he could be at risk of going to jail. What do you mean at risk? He should be going to jail.
We don't say that Islam is here to live, to coexist with lots of different religions and all of us can just hold hands and be friends. This religion has been sent to dominate, to wipe out, to take out every other religion, to have the people leave every religion and to accept Islam. And if that requires fighting to achieve it, then it requires fighting to achieve it. Because the greatest purpose for which jihad was legislated is to make the word of Allah the highest and the word of those who disbelieve the lowest, even if the disbelievers hate it. But we're not shy to say it, and we don't find that to be something that we should be shy to say.
As we've taken over the country officially, England's over. Allahu Akbar! Yeah, what are we lining up for? This is historical. This is historical. I don't see this on Fajr. Guys, we went down a whole alleyway and there's still a man here.
What message do you want to give to the far-right people? The message I want to give to the far-right people is we're here to take over your country. You can't stop us. You can try, but we're here to uphold Sharia law, and yeah, that's it. All right.
Not that if you die for God that you will have 72 virgins in heaven.
If you die for Allah, you're going to get 72 virgins in heaven. Like, you can sleep with as much as you want and they're going to return back as virgins. It is a sexually perverted religion. Like, when you read the hadith, it's literally like pornography.
Yeah, but we look in the Quran says to actually listen to the Gospels.
Yeah.
So what do you say about that?
Islam masquerades as a religion for us to accept them into the West as freedom of religion, but under the religion, it is a political movement that seeks to take over the world. America for them is the one nation that they have been praying and dreaming about to make it Muslim for so long. This is a true story. Muslim preachers and imams would get young adults and youth, and they used to drug them. They would put these drugged, hallucinated young teenagers in those gardens, and the gardens will be filled with prostitutes. And they would get the young youth and young adults to sleep with the prostitutes, and the teacher would tell him that was a taste of heaven. And the young Muslim man who just experienced his prostitutes in the garden would say, I'm ready for my 72 virgins. And he would literally tell the young guy, all right, that pastor and that church, go kill him.
And Christians alike. If I can't question politics, then I can't question the policies that are undermining my progress. So they'll make it taboo to even talk about it while what? While we get boiled in a slow pot. A slow heated pot. The boiling frog effect. So they make it taboo that it's wrong to even discuss politics or religion, when these are the two things we should be discussing.
Or criticize this whole thing. I would make it come up with a word like heretic used to be 200 years ago. Let's say we call it racist, and I would try to accuse anybody of this that would object to my ideas. My seventh part, then, I would make it impossible to enforce our immigration laws. I would develop a mantra, let's call it this, that because immigration has been good in the past for America, it will continue to be good in the future.
That's one thing I'm going to show on the other side. I'm going to show that on the other side. But I'm also going to show one other thing. One second. I'm also going to show, matter of fact, let me see if I have it here under the history. So if y'all want to know what's really going on to why they're seeking to cut everything off, filibustering, listen to this.
We are now on day 23 of the Democrat government shutdown. Senate Democrats have voted 12 separate times now to keep the government closed. Innocent Americans are suffering every day as a result. More than 500,000 civilian federal employees will miss a full paycheck tomorrow. Thousands of small business loans are going unapproved each month. This means almost $4 billion in capital is being withheld from small businesses across the country. The Democrat shutdown is also causing severe impacts at airports across the country. In one single day this week, the FAA had to issue ground stops impacting flights at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport and Hobby Airport. 13,000 air traffic controllers who ensure that we all fly safely are continuing to work without pay. This is egregious and truly sad. Some of them are reportedly being forced to turn to driving for Uber and taking on other second jobs to make ends meet as the Democrats continue to shut down the government. Pilots are calling on Democrats to end this dangerous political game. The president of the Southwest Airlines Pilot Association called for the clean continuing resolution to be passed, saying, quote, "Our air traffic controllers and the broader air traffic system are already operating under immense pressure. A government shutdown only compounds that stress and threatens the efficiency of our skies." The Airline Pilots Association International, which represents more than 80,000 pilots, is sounding the alarm as well. They said this shutdown is undermining our system's safety. Resources are stretched thin, negotiations are delayed, and strain grows daily. With the Thanksgiving holiday approaching, we are nearing the busiest travel period of the entire year, when millions of Americans will go to airports to spend time with their loved ones. Let us be very clear from the White House today. If the Democrats continue to keep the government closed, we fear there will be significant flight delays, disruptions, and cancellations in major airports across the country this holiday season. If Democrats continue to shut down the government, they will also be shutting down American air travel. The White House is in constant communication with the air traffic controllers, with the airline associations, and with them, we urge Democrats to please pass the continuing resolution so we can just end this madness and this chaos and reopen the government. These are very avoidable consequences. The unnecessary pain, unfortunately, does not end there. Funding for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, which provides food benefits to low-income families, is beginning to lapse this week in some states. If Democrats continue to hold Americans hostage, there will not be enough funds to provide SNAP benefits for more than 40 million Americans on November 1st. That is next week. Democrats are solely responsible for all of this unnecessary pain. Why are they doing it? To give taxpayer-funded healthcare benefits to illegal aliens, some of whom are violent criminals. During the 4 years of Joe Biden's administration, the Democrats forced Border Patrol to admit illegal aliens into our country with no legal status and minimal screening. A significant number of these individuals are the worst of the worst criminals: rapists, pedophiles, murderers, and even members of the terrorist watch list. Despite having no legal status, paroled aliens were able to file for work authorization, receive Social Security numbers, and access other benefits like Medicaid that are meant for Americans.
Look at that. So why are the Democrats filibustering and not giving the votes? They want the chaos to ensue. If the other side doesn't release all the Doge money or allow the Medicare and Medicaid and benefits to go to illegals instead of American citizens who paid into this, they'd rather starve out everyone. On which day? At a time for, right on time for Samhain. That's right, folks. The most darkest, evil time of the year. Warfare, specifically aimed towards God's people who believe in Christ. That's their aim. So this is a multi-level attack. But guess what? Our eyes are open. We can no longer be deceived. And the Most High has given us this information as so that we can protect ourselves under the laws the Most High gave Moses, and be protected through the hedge that we can only have through Christ. See you on the other side on Patreon. Patreon.com/AGathering144. We'll have an open discussion. Open discussion, Babylon, Babylon. That's right. As you can see, we'll have an open discussion. We are witnessing the dark decline of Babylon, starting during a time of what? Satan's double Sabbath. He loved doing his Halloween, and his priests and priestesses also posing as politicians or preachers. They love rolling their satanic plans out. On Friday night, that's right, October 31st.
Shalom! That's how we greet family. 12 tribes, where y'all at? Shalom! When I see them fringes on, I'm yelling. Shalom! Shalom! That's my brother, that's my sister. Shalom! Shalom! Truth brought us together, now we standing strong. Shalom! One family, one nation. Shalom! Used to walk past people every day, didn't know we family in the faith. Now I see blue borders from afar, instantly know exactly who you are. From Florida all the way to Cali, from New York down to the valley. One father, one book, one truth. Now we waking up the old and youth. Ain't no strangers when we meet today. First thing coming out my mouth, shalom. Cause I know what we survived and I know why we still alive. When I see them fringes on, I'm yelling. Shalom, shalom. That's my brother, that's my sister. Shalom, shalom. Truth brought us together, now we standing strong. Shalom, one family, one nation. Passover, new moon, feast days too. Everybody smiling when the crew pull through. Kids laughing, elders showing love. Praises going up to the one above. Judah in the building, Ephraim in the building, Benjamin in the building. Everybody feeling it. Northern kingdom, southern kingdom, all together now, that's prophecy living. Hey, if your family say Shalom. If you know who you are, say Shalom. If you keep it law, say Shalom.